What's up, chess player? I want to share with you my pain today. We all have played some painful games, but this one is truly amazing. I had a position completely winning, like +10 for me, and all of the lines are winning, but I have promoted a second queen, thinking, well, I'm gonna have an extra queen now, but that move loses the entire advantage away. So let me share this game with you, and you're gonna be amazed by how painful a chess game can be. That was the Sicilian defense. I have played as black, and well, I have played against a pretty strong opponent, a girl here, and she played this close Sicilian. And yeah, bishop g7. I just want to control the center, and I want to control the key d4 square, so that after this move, bishop to e3, I immediately go on with knight e4. That is a pretty well-known plan, nothing special, but well, I was pretty fine with my position. I don't have any real weaknesses here, but well, let's see what happens. Here I want to create some source of counterplay because obviously my opponent wants to attack on the king side here with f4, g4, f5 and so on, just giving me a checkmate basically. So I want to be fast enough to create some counterplay either on the queen side or in the center. So after knight d1, I decided to shift a little bit and play the move d5 to immediately attack in the center. So it's a very powerful piece of advice. If your opponent wants to attack or attacks you on the side, answer in the center. And yeah, you want to open it up, like f4, I immediately took it, because if the center is opened, it's so much more difficult for your opponent to attack you on the side. And vice versa, if you are attacking on the side, be careful with your opponent attacking you back in the center. So here I just played b6, I wanted to develop my bishop somewhere to a6. Yeah, but you see that my opponent is kicking my knight away. Of course, d4 is a beautiful square, and I don't want to exchange my knight because, well, that is my best piece, and I just wanted to remaneuver it somehow to d6, where it's gonna attack the pawn on e4 and maybe threaten with a fork there. The endgame is of course completely fine, as I'm gonna control the d file, and of course no side attack is possible afterwards. So my opponent decided to keep the queens on the board, but now I played e5. I wanted not to allow those pieces to open up after the move e5. Now the bishop is completely strong and yeah, ready to crush. The knight is coming to e4. I played e5. Just.com says it's a mistake because, well, white gets some activity and I still haven't finished my development, but I was fine with it. Rook d1, queen to c7, I thought, well, white can't really do anything active and I have some time to stabilize everything. But now knight d3 and I played the move f6 just to protect the pawn once again, because now takes happens and I didn't really want to take with a knight, as that allows this transfer to d5, and you should be very careful with your opponent's counterplay. You should always pay close attention to it, because so often that's my problem, that I just miss it altogether. I have a completely beautiful position. That is what happened in this game too. And then I just miss the entire counterattack, and my opponent is getting back, maybe winning the game, maybe making a draw, and I feel incredibly miserable. Let me know in the comments if you have such a problem, and if you do, how do you deal with that? Because for me it's so difficult. So, pawn takes, rook takes, bishop takes, and now we have reached this very complex middle game. A lot of pieces on the board, a lot of weaknesses. Both sides have this d5 square. Just imagine one of the knights landing on d5 square. Such a beast it's gonna be. And of course, c4, knight c3 is a plan to achieve that, but that weakens the d4 square, and of course, I'm waiting for that. So it's all very double-edged here. Bishop b7, of course, at the moment, white has a little bit better development, controlling the d file, but the position is better for black according to the engine. That is how complex chess is, and that is just the beginning of this incredible game. So, well, my opponent is going back and forth, not really improving the position because she's struggling to find the right plan. Meanwhile, I'm trying to activate all of my pieces here, playing c4, completely shutting down the whole activity on the queen side, and yeah, potentially having this diagonal for myself. So now knight f7, I'm heading towards g5 maybe, because this e4 is the main weakness there. And of course the e5 pawn is also important for me to protect. So h4, b5, I'm just trying to go on. I'm trying to improve all of my pieces. You can see that engine is arguing with basically all of the moves. That is how complex chess is. Even, well, more or less chess professionals can't really find the right moves here. And so knight g1, queen to a8, it seemed clever for me. So first I played queen to d8, I'm attacking this h4 pawn, and yes, the engine just laughs at it, saying it's not dangerous at all, but as a human being, when you sit there and you see those sacrifices, the knight on g4 being very vulnerable, then all of the pieces are going into towards your king, you really want to make sure nothing painful happens there. So you play knight g1, which is a great move, but now queen a8, and you have another problem to deal. And so I'm trying to create as many threats as I always do towards my opponent to make the life more complicated. Rook a1, king g7, I'm trying to improve all of my pieces, now pushing back my opponent's knight with h5, now improve this bishop, because I thought, well, that is a huge diagonal for my dark square's bishop, so let's maneuver it there. And yeah, I'm gonna make it even more difficult for my opponent to deal with all of these threats. So she decides to play this move a4, which is a mistake because basically it's difficult to take it back after b takes a. And so she plays knight to b2, but now a3, and suddenly I have created a very powerful passer for myself. I mean, either you need to waste a lot of time to get it back, or you need to live with that, but that is very difficult because, I mean, that's just 2 squares away from the promotion, and you remember I have talked about promoting into the queen, so this pawn is gonna play a huge role in this game. But first, I want just to defend it, not to lose the pawn. If I happen to have it, I want to secure it. The right move was knight takes e4, but somehow it felt not that safe for me to take that pawn. So knight b5, knight takes, and now the queen is also supporting the passer. So I thought, well, I have a great position. I just need to find the final blow, and the game is there. But it's not simple at all. I mean, that position is so complicated. This rook to d8 felt like a reasonable move, but actually that is exactly where all of my problems began. So first of all, you should imagine I'm in time trouble. I have this passer along the a file, but I can't just push it with a2 because rook a1 and I'm gonna just lose it. So I want to add another piece because that's an open file, I'm thinking so to myself, and I need to bring it maybe to d3, then I'm gonna attack everything. But all of a sudden, this rook comes to f1, that's move 39, so I'm about to reach the move 40 when I get additional 30 minutes. But yeah, still 2 moves, no time at all, and suddenly I realize it's very, very complicated here, because I'm playing a2, well, I want to promote my pawn, I'm thinking, well, somehow I should deal with this threat, but queen comes to f2, just ignoring this threat of promotion altogether, but and so you can promote all you want, but look at those pieces. I mean, you have your king, and you have one defender, the knight. Well, good luck trying to stop the entire attack. You have the queen, the rook, the knight, and the bishop attacking your king, and potentially even this bishop can connect. So an incredible attack there, and of course the knight is hanging with some checkmating ideas, so there is no time for me to promote the queen. I don't have no time, and I just played rook to d8, so it's very difficult for me to make the right move, which is rook to f8 back. Nevertheless, I still do it, but I was kicking myself for this move because I thought rook to d7 is such a simple win here because I'm just protecting the knight, and after queen to f6 I just go to h7 and there is nothing dangerous for me at all. But in fact it's totally wrong because it's plus 10 for white thanks to one move which is completely winning here. Feel free to pause the video for a second and find this move for white. That's gonna be a good tactical exercise for you. Okay, I hope you have managed to do that. The move is queen to e6 with a double attack. Once again, you can promote all you want, but checkmate is coming for you. So thank God I haven't played rook d7 because I thought that is the best move at some point. So rook f8 is the only move to survive here. Everything else loses on the spot. But queen f6 still a very great move. King to h7, another, like here I'm trying to find the only resources. And of course my opponent is very aggressive at this point, trying to just crush me. She doesn't care about making a draw, she just wants to checkmate me. So she plays queen to e7. all I can do is to go back, and now after queen f6, probably I don't have anything better than a draw. But she plays queen to e6 suddenly, and I thought maybe I have some chances, because suddenly I have the move bishop takes e4, and it's not really attacking, it's rather defending, because I'm just gonna be checkmated if I don't do that. So knight g5 has been played, and that's a mistake, because now I make a series of great moves, the only moves that exist here, and that saves the entire game for me, and it's even winning, even though, you remember, I made that final blow, that final blunder in the end. Nevertheless, try to stop the video for a second and find this move for black, the beginning of the incredible series of moves. So the rook is attacking the knight is attacking, the queen is attacking, and pinning the knight. The only move not to lose immediately is knight to c7. Queen takes c4, well, the problem is the same, there is a pin, the knight is under attack. The only move not to lose here, I hope you can find it, bishop takes g2. But now rook takes f7, and you need to continue, and once again there is only one move. I mean, you can promote your queen for free, but that's gonna lead to a checkmate. You can take the rook and get checkmated immediately. You can play bishop d5, which seems to be kind of a very good move, but that doesn't work as well because of rook takes f8 and then queen takes c7, and yeah, not great at all. The only move to win the game still is knight to d5, another great move, and thank God I have found it, that as well. Queen to d3, creating yet another threat against my king. So you could see how important that is to create as many threats for your opponent as possible. Doesn't matter how many pieces you have, how many pieces he has, whether he can promote another queen, just create those threats constantly. So I decided I can just take this rook on f7. By the way, e4 was very simple winning, and I have seen this move, I was calculating it, but somehow decided, okay, rook f7 should be the simplest, because I'm winning the rook here, what can be better than that? Queen takes, all of that is forced, king to f8, queen to f5 check, and now I played knight e7. I said, if you want to get my rook back, please take it, I'm gonna promote a new queen, I'm gonna be happy with that, I'm gonna play queen h1, checkmate next move, and we all go home. But suddenly my opponent plays knight e6. Totally unexpected move. At this point, I'm once again in trouble, in time trouble, and that is a critical moment in the game. I mean, every move you can think about, except for a1 queen, is winning in this position. You can play king f7, which doesn't seem that logical. That is winning. You can play king d7. That is winning. You can play rook g6. That is winning. But I played a1 queen. You could see a blunder sign immediately here from the engine. It's very simple for the engine to make conclusions, because knight g7, and suddenly there is no way to escape a perpetual check. I was hoping for king to f7, but there is queen to e6. I have to take, and then you just take the knight on e7, and the king has no way to escape. Because of this pawn, the queen can come back. This queen is also too far away, and you just cannot escape the checks. Queen g5, king f8, queen f6, and yeah, you just go here. King e8, by the way, is even blundering the checkmate into, because now the bishop is going to help from either direction, and you're gonna get checkmate. So you should even be careful here. It's such an incredible position. So if you go to the other side, which also seemed promising for me, then queen to e6, and now after king to d8, once again you're getting checkmated in one. After king to c7, queen to b6, and you don't have any ways to accept to escape the checks. Queen to e6 back. Yeah, you can try to escape here, but queen to takes e7. Once again, you have an extra queen, but you have no way to win the game. It's such a painful feeling. I mean, king to a6 runs into the checkmate, and thank God I have seen that, not running into such a trap, because after king takes, you just have queen c5, and either way you go, you're getting checkmated in one. So here I just tried to escape checks for a few moves, and we agreed to a draw, because, well, there is no way for me to win the game. So I hope you enjoyed this game. I mean, that is a very painful experience for me to share, but I hope you never repeat my mistakes in your games. Remember to follow your opponent's counterplay. That is such a key moment in chess. Even if you are thinking it's completely winning, I mean, I'm promoting a second queen or I'm a rook up, never stop thinking about some tricks from your opponent, because, well, you never know what he's up to. And here you can see the round number 1, when I was playing white, I was crushing the Slav defense, but something very unexpected happened, so you're gonna take a lot out of this game. Definitely take a look.